What's going on? What's going on? This is Greg Said It Live, Sunday live edition. You gonna have a couple lives go on Thursday lives with B Watson and the crew there. And this is my original live, my one and only live. I look at things, um, maybe this is how many years? This is the fourth season. So this is going to the fourth season. So I did 3 years. And everything jumped off pretty quickly. With that first year, it was I didn't know it was gonna be so much fanfare and hype coming into that thing, but everything got jumping off pretty good. Got the monetize and all that. And it's a lot of things I haven't done. I could do more content. I would like to do some different stuff overall on this platform, but just it's a lot of things that I could do. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not gonna tell myself that. But I always wanted to do something more with the subscribers and the members. Today is the first day I'm opening up the chat only for subscribers. I don't know what that would do. I would hope that the people who, usually the people who are engaged are people who be here all the time. And this is one of the things I'm just going to start rewarding more subscribers. We say subscribe, and sometimes when you look at your data, I don't really look at my data probably like I should, like a lot of people do, and I get to see, how many people subscribe. You'll be surprised that like you can get thousands of views, and half of the people who are looking at it are subscribed, and it's kind of social currency. And I say, hey, get those likes up, get those. Everybody say that, get those likes up, get the subscribes up, and all that different stuff. Um, I don't know. Maybe to help the algorithm. I don't know. Sometimes I get people say they don't even see this stuff. The algorithm is weird, and some videos jump off, some don't. Sometimes people get the notification, some don't. But the subscriptions will help. I would say that. So help with the likes, help with the subscriptions. I don't care if you live, the replay. The least you can do is hit that like and run these likes up, and maybe that encourages the algorithm. I don't know what it's doing. And subscribe. And I definitely would think more if you got any suggestions. It's not that type of channel. It probably could be, but when I originally started this channel, just purely talk. It was just like, hey, Colorado, woo woo woo. They had no plan, no marketing plan. Never did this before. And as time went on, because that was my foundation, I never really jumped into a lot of the components with the memberships and what we call it, Patreon, all those different things. Like I entertained it, but it just really wasn't built on that. But now I'm gonna think more about it and see. I would like to do more for people who are subscribers. I really would. I would like to do. Well, I'm doing this with subscribers only. The people in the chat, hit subscribe, and within a minute, you can go ahead and start hitting the buttons. And but I want my subscribers to have one benefit, and that is you the one can talk in the chat. So if you want to talk in the chat, go ahead and subscribe, and then you can talk in the chat. But we know the people who are in this chat right now, they are people who have subscribed, and it don't hurt to subscribe. You hear some people, I don't know, I am not a stalker, but I just know some people that be lurking around and they ain't even subscribers. And that would be sad, especially if you hear at least, once a month or whatever, go ahead and subscribe. I don't get paid for subscribers. That would be nice. I think it's platforms, maybe that would be probably the next level, getting paid for subscribers. I don't know, because they don't always equate. Sometimes people have a lot of subscribers, but they don't have engagement. Like people subscribe, I don't know if the content change, and people don't, they don't, it don't match. Like you got 100,000 subscribers and your video only doing a few thousand. It's like that's a little off because people with a fraction of your subscribers can have more video engagement. They can have a couple thousand people looking at their stuff, but them couple thousand people actually watch their stuff. And that can be an algorithm and all that. But I appreciate the people who coming through. What's it, Queen Brantley? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, subscriber, and comment here. Subscribe, she definitely. To be able to comment, she definitely subscribe. But anywho, I just thought about that. I want to do more. I want to do some members only type activities, and I need to just kind of just think about it. I mean, we don't do no gambling, I'm more of a talks guy, so like to really engage. Maybe that will be what it be, just some behind the scene one-on-one conversation and to the members only to really be able to engage. I don't quite know. Any ideas? Feel free to drop it in the chat. Some things y'all would like to see done. All season is really weird. This is actually February can be weird from um, a situation where people who are less engaged, less going on. There's no games going on, Colorado or overall. Less games going on, so people are less engaged and all that good stuff. And then you also have, you got well off, you got all stuff like that to keep you kind of have something going on. They do a good job. Darius has really stepped it up. Darius to me is the new well off. He is what well off originally was. Well off originally was like to show you the personalities and the this is important for this year. This is important in the beginning too, where you need to know the players. These are whole new players. You don't know them, you don't know their names. So there's Wolof has done a good job of showing you who those guys are, put a face with the name or a name with a name. Really, some people I don't remember them, and some people you do. And then well off was more so that because that was his brothers and all them Jackson State. He really kept that narrative going, and sometimes it overlap. You're like, what's the difference? And then Darius kind of did more like the interviews and stuff like that. But now he's just really that guy. And well off, come in, he's kind of on the road or whatever, especially when the NFL going. So it's good for somebody to fill in. And pregame, they do their thing too. So I've been watching honestly more Darius. He just really been that source of really getting to know the players behind the scenes, and not just their story, but you get to see their personality, and you get a lot of that right now. And maybe within a week or so, you get a little more because spring actual practices start. You get to start see the skills. Right now, you just been seeing personality. You've been seeing the chemistry of the team. They've been lifting weights, kind of figuring what the coaches are, because you got new coaches too, kind of filling them out. And for people who like to try to estimate and predict what the season going to look like, it can help with that. But you don't really know nothing, so you get to know more and more and more about what type of team is going to be as you see them getting equipment. Whatever they show you, you watch, you can get some clips to see. They ain't gonna show you necessarily the plays and everything, but you're gonna get to see some guys do something. You're gonna get to see some guys make catches, make some runs, make some blocks, some defensive line guys get off the ball. You get an idea. You ain't gotta wait totally till the season starts. You get an idea of some skill set. And of course they can show as much as they want, but you get an idea. Even the spring game, I think is gonna be different this year. I'm hearing it's gonna be more like a spring practice. They let people in for free. It's not a paid thing. Things are different, y'all. The team is different. The culture is different. And one of the things that I recognize, and you look at this title, is it's just a different type of team. The team is it's hard to explain, but it's not hard to see. I'm gonna give you an example. Last year, Coach Prime will make the comment that he felt it, and it was seen that a lot of the guys didn't really get to know each other. They didn't really interact with each other like they should. Like they were very much, I don't know. They seem to not really hang out with each other. And I noticed like, even a year before, it was like, oh, we play Bell on the road because we get to be around each other and we stuck around each other. And he kind of had that narrative. But I think at the same time, you look at the fact, I know when I was playing ball, football teams are big teams. You're going to have 80 plus guys on the team. You're going to have that because just the scholarships. It's not like other sports where, they may have 20, 30 guys on there. Football is it's your moneymaker. So you get a chance to be a part of something big. You don't have to join no organization. It's like a big game. And One thing that is important about football is that camaraderie. You're not going to be best friends with everybody. It can be 80, 90, 100 people now. And you're not going to be hanging with everybody. But it's gonna be times where y'all gonna move as a unit, even a fraction of the unit, and you part of the football team. When we used to go out, yeah, all 100 people didn't go out, but when you are part of the football team, you was part of the football team. That's who you was with. You was with other football players, and it's anywhere. Go to basketball game, whatever. You gonna go sit with the football players. The problem lies when you're part of the football team, but it's fragmented, and it can be seen, it can be felt. Same example. If you go to the basketball team and the football team sit over there, but you're gonna be the odd guy. I'm gonna go sit over there. Another guy sit over there. Go sit there. That's not a good sign. When you like, I ain't running with them. I'm on a football team, but I'm my own individual. Like it's really supposed to be like if a game do that and that's negative, it really supposed to be similar to that. Like when y'all around each other, y'all around each other. You know, you see that with the sororities and fraternities. It should be similar to that. They go out together, they run together, they together. They together, they sit together, they eat together. Like when you go in the cafeteria, the football team all eat over there, but you also see the band, all the band members eat over there, all the track people. It has to be that. When you start to see somebody always gotta force it, and you know they're forcing it when they gotta keep talking about it. Like, y'all need to sit together, put the phone down. Y'all need to y'all need to get together and watch the game. Yeah, that's it's kind of automatic because you spend so much time with these people. Well, you know, they may cut back more now, but you spend more time with them than anybody. And it shouldn't be, oh, I can't wait to get away from it. It should be a bond, it should be a connection that you have with your teammates because you spend more time with them, because you know them better than anybody. Not saying that you shouldn't have no relationships outside of that, because I believe in that, especially in college, you know, that's a big thing. You networking, you should meet other classmates, you should meet other people on campus. But when you're part of something like a football team, you should have a relationship with them more than anybody. For one, y'all go through stuff together that nobody else can relate to. It's like people joining some type of fraternity. They went through this little secret experience, and that's what bonds them. Football, y'all go out there, y'all working out. Y'all the only one working out at early in the morning or whatever, going through the pain and throwing up. That's your bond. That's something you only experience with them. You're not experiencing that with nobody else. You might go through a class, somebody and be like, oh, we studying together, we made through this class together. But that's like even that class is only like some months. You see? Then they on to another class. But your football team, you're year round. And if you stay there for years, you know these people for years. Y'all win and lose together. Y'all go through the challenges of that together and how people talk about you together. Y'all have that commonality. So how do you get to the place where you don't connect? Like something's off. I'm not, and then winning will help you. And losing can hurt you, but it also can help you. But what is the excuse? It's a cultural thing. When you see a team where you ask, hey, y'all stand up here, what you know about this? You know anything about this guy? No, not really. I know he's from Memphis. I know that. And then everybody do the same thing. Okay, it ain't just this guy or this particular age group or this particular position. You seeing everybody not really connecting. Then you see the coaches kind of do the same thing. You know you're in trouble. Now, Coach Prime said, hey, I didn't do the leadership retreat. That was the first time. And maybe that's part of it because you want your leaders to be established first on what you're trying to do so they can properly lead the team. You know, you want to play a team, but they got to lead according to what you want. And that's important. But on a personal level, man, if you're not able to really connect with your teammate, I mean, when it's just regular, how do you expect to connect with them when you out there getting beat or you in the challenge? If you already separate, you're gonna remain separate. I'm sorry, you're gonna pull away because you ain't really messing with them like that, and you don't really trust them like that. And I don't know, it's a lot of different things. I don't know what y'all would say in the chat. It is subscribers on the chat. If you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and drop something in there. Engage. He said somebody asked something about the Syracuse CU not playing each other. Yeah, I don't know. And see, the NFL, you can't compare the NFL to college. College got 100 teams, hundreds of teams. Saying like, if you look at all the levels, NFL is its own entity. They own every aspect of it, even though it's different owners. Don't get it twisted. It's all the NFL. It's all part of the Shield. They decided to do that from, I guess, a marketing standpoint, and it's really marketing because I mean, especially now they play so many games. They play 16 plus games, so it's like you play so many games and you add that. But they wanted to get out of the mundane. But really, the NFL camp is so short. It's so short. It's like, you're gonna have preseason right there, but I guess they just want to mix it up. That's what the NFL want to do. Maybe it gives them more spice. But we talking about college doing it, that can get out of hand real quick because Coach Prime do it, you gotta let other people do it. And so now you got a situation where now you got outside of regulation games, more opportunity for injury, more travel. You can say, "Oh, my school have what happened with hundreds of schools because it ain't just 30 of them, 28, 27. It ain't. It's hundreds of schools. If they all decide to say we don't just want to do a regular spring, we want to add this extra element, and as the NCAA, that's hard to regulate and manage. And when you ain't watching something like that, it can get out of hand. And it's just too big. College football is just too big. Yeah, it's so many teams. You got FBS, you got the different conferences in the FBS, you got the lower level FBS, then you got the FCS, you got Division 2, you got Division 3. If everybody decided to do that, especially now you're talking about, okay, they gotta have money too. But now you're talking about traveling. Like it's not like Colorado is doing it, like they said, to another little local Colorado team. They talking about somebody all the way on the other side. Yeah, you have a relationship with them, but that now you got travel, now you got this, and like I said, the school said we can do that. It, I can see why it would be an issue because at that point, it's like the NCAA don't got pushed aside. We doing stuff outside of what you all doing, and even though they're not NFL, they want to remain a certain level of power. So I think that's what it is. It's like they don't want to open that can of worms. They already don't open the can of worms when they open up the doggone portal. Look what that did. That bright idea. Oh, one or two kids. Oh, okay, yeah. Now they got this issue with the extra eligibility. You get one kid extra eligibility, you bound to get doggone sued because now you got the other kids. Like you gave him, you got to get to me. Why you ain't at me? And it's like they're already in a peculiar situation because even though they may say this situation is unique, other people watching, other people looking at it like, what about me? They watching. So it's just a hard thing to really deal with. That's my opinion on that. What about the NFL draft? Do you like the Colorado draft? You talking about the new thing. And again, I think that's something to keep the spice going. Because y'all think about it. Removing the possible of going against another team, getting ready for another team in the spring. Spring go by so quick. That's another thing. It's like, it's a lot. And you're going against the same guys every day in the spring. You're going against the same guys every day in the summer. And then you do it again in the fall. By the time you get to the fall, it's like, so the draft thing is just like what people probably would do in school. They give them a little extra to keep the edge going because it can get flat. It can get flat when you're talking about just doing the same old thing, same old practice, same old workout. You got to keep them intrigued and something to look forward to. That's a long window. You're talking about a good 6 months out before, a little over 6 months before your first game. So how do you keep somebody going? You got to keep a little competition. They doing tug of war. They doing all this. It's amazing though to me. This new generation is different because people got to go out their way to keep their attention. They didn't care about this crap when we was in school. Like I said, everybody been doing this. But it's like this new generation, you got to do tricks and ponies and all that to keep people attention span and social media, microwave attention. So it's like maybe that's what they feel they got to do for the new generation. I don't know, but I just find it funny that it's an issue now. Like it ain't always been this way, but I see his logic, but it's just funny. So What do you think about some of the videos making it look like Juju got picked before uh, when he didn't? Swaney got picked before Juju. Making Juju look like he get picked before Swaney. I don't know, man. It's interesting that Swaney didn't. He the only one that had no data on the board. It don't really matter. Juju needs competition. They all need competition, and they definitely need depth. They're gonna be running that ball. Somebody get popped, hit on the arm, hit on the hand, hit on the finger, and whoever coming in got to be ready to keep that team going. You can't have a big drop off. So I do say that like competition is great for Juju is great for all the other guys. I don't know who is Sweetney supposed to be, uh, but I know Isaac Wilson. It's funny. I remember him when he came in against Colorado, but it's all good. It's all good. You don't want to go back to the day we only got one quarterback. Now, I am the guy, and I'm putting it out there. I do want to see Ponder. He can remain as the fourth string shooter. The fourth string quarterback could be a wide receiver. I would love to see Ponder at tight end. I don't put it out there. I ask everybody to put it out there. Just like we don't have success. It don't got back to the count. It don't got back to the count with the night practices. The daytime buffs. I am the originator and the creator of the daytime buff theory. And now Coach Prime said all the time about the night games. Guess what? They still giving it to him. So what you gonna do? But I also said Ponder to the tight end. Ponder the tight end. That's his best route going forward for this team. His best route going forward in his career. He can still maintain his quarterback. He can come in as a wildcat quarterback. He can come in as the 4th-and-1 quarterback. He'll get on the field quicker as a quarterback that way than he would as a true quarterback. So, it's some other things that I like to see moved around. I feel like they wasted opportunity with Taylor and Wade. One of them, both of them. I don't want to see that with Ponder. Ponder's a big guy. He got the frame, and he can go ahead and focus on putting on weight and learn that tight end, get over there with Coach Niblett. That's why I say put it out there. He can still be 4th-string quarterback, super duper big quarterback reps. Come in. They're gonna get some big quarterback come in and get reps. Ponder come in at tight end. It's already said that they gonna do halfback formations and fullback formations, man. You put somebody back there like that in the backfield with his size, athletic ability, and this is a whole nother element instead of wasting him on the bench. Because we know he can run. We know he can run. We don't see him run. And he can run the option. And just think about it. You put somebody like him in the backfield, you don't really know what's about to happen. You put him in like as an H-back, in these weird little super duper kinky go-go formations with on there be 3 running backs in the backfield. You got 2 running backs, and then the tight end step back and he go in motion. And you got somebody like Ponder, and you can option off of him. He still can throw it. But also he's athletic. He's more athletic than he is a quarterback. If anybody pay attention, he can run, and he's a big size dude. I don't get it. I don't get they over stubborn with this quarterback thing. They've been really weird, and I saw that when Walter Taylor was there. Now he finally want to be a tight end. I said that about him, and now 2 years later, why do that? Why waste all your eligibility trying to be something that I'm not saying that you're not talented, but you see what that quarterback room look like. Your fastest way on that field is as a tight end. I need to do a whole video for Ponder at tight end. I do the whole campaign and let it get out there. Cause I know they listen. Cause I don't have 2, 3 things. I'm the only one said it. Out of all these people, I'm the only one said it. And they were repeating it verbatim. So I know they listening, whether they on this platform or whether I'm on another platform, but they are listening. And I'm telling you, Ponder to tight end. That's the best thing for him. That's the best thing for the team. That tight end room has some decent athletes in here. He will be a great contributor to that tight end room. He already about 6'4" almost. He can put on another 15, 20 pounds. He already, I don't know, Ponder probably about 220. He kind of like Micah Harrison to me. How they had him in the wrong position. He came in tight end and tore it up. Ponder would tear it up at tight end, man. He would be a matchup nightmare because he's athletic. Ponder probably at least 6'4". Let me look up and see how big Ponder is. Ponder's a big old boy. I don't even think he's 6'3". I think he at least 6'4". What's his name? Ponder. I'm gonna look it up and see what his size is. Dominique Ponder. Dominique Ponder. Wait, shoot. Ponder 6'5". Ponder 6'5". Quit playing. They got him listed at 6'5", 200. Man, please. I seen him lifting in the weights. I know he more than 200 now. I know for sure because his height alone gonna make him more than 200. And I seen him over there lifting weights, and he taking the serious. Ponder can be 225 by the season start, man. Easy. With his height and how they eat, and he actually focus on being that, he can get 225, 230. Easy. I bet you he at least 215 right now. He's at least 215. And then let's let him focus on eating and putting that weight on. And then you got your doggone big quarterback. He the biggest quarterback. That man 6'5". Now you got somebody come in who's a true quarterback, but also tight end. Now y'all can wildcat people to death. Now he can come in and be a legit running option at quarterback. And with the go, you can put him back there with Young, and you put him back there with Henderson or Welch, and you put all them three in the backfield, boy, they finna have a problem. Third and 2, and you got Ponder back there taking this snap with one side, you got Young, the other side. Now you ain't got to worry about, he competing for this juju. You can put special packages in there. Ponder come in as the Wildcat quarterback. Ponder come in, he had tight end packages with him at tight end. Crazy. Ain't no linebacker gonna really want to be going against no 6'5" athletic guy. Do y'all hear me? I know I'm talking good. Maybe I'm waiting on the people to watch the preview replay. I know y'all in this chat hear on what I'm saying. Y'all act like I'm telling us. Come on now. I can't be just making sense to myself. Can't be making sense to myself. Ponder, the tight end is probably the most underrated things they could do for this offense. But that's all from the Juju question. Get them lights up. Well, come on, y'all let me know. I know I'm telling the doggone truth. Come on, I know my people here got sense. Now I can't speak for other people. I don't know what they be attracted. I know you watching me. I know you got something in your head you can pay attention to. Cause I ain't here to repeat what everybody else say. Never have, never will. I don't even have time to watch stuff no more. I used to try. I don't even have time to watch other people's stuff like that. I watch stuff, but I don't be after the fact. Says the vibe from this group is far different from last year. You see the energy Gene want from the dudes. Unlike that, they ain't like they happy to be there, man. They ain't looking like somebody made them be there. They not looking like they got other options. These guys actually look like they happy to be there. And because you got this guy happy to be there, this guy happy to be there, that's their commonality. And that's the bond. Man, I can't believe we here. Not all I'm here for the cameras, but I mean, these guys came from lower level, and this is a beautiful time. Back in the day, you would never see a guy from a lower level get a chance to play at a high level. Now it's the thing. It's the thing to go get a guy from FCS and come play at Colorado. That used to come on now. You could first of all, you had to sit out a year if you went up. You only could go down. So you would see a guy at a lower level FCS, which was Division I AA back in the day. They would go down and play Division II. And that's why Division II was very competitive, because you had a lot of Division I guys. Some guys even played at what you call in the FBS level, would come back and play Division II because they got put out, they had to sit out. I played against the Florida State quarterback who was all over ESPN. And he came down and he played at a Division II level. And when I'm telling you that Division II level back then was every bit of FCS now. Matter of fact, most of the teams that used to be in Division II, they now FCS. And some of them don't went to FCS and now they're in FBS. Now they're in Group of 4. The landscape of this thing is different, y'all. I've never seen programs move so quick. Usually back in the day, it was rare for a team to move up a level. I remember FAMU wanted to move up. They was FCS and they wanted to move up. to play basically, I guess, FBS. And they told me you got to get more scholarships, you got to get your stadium done. They said, forget it. Look, but they still there. They still there. But then I saw Kennesaw State, who I transferred to Kennesaw. They didn't have football. I was doing baseball, and they told we got a football team. We undefeated. The joke was we undefeated. It's 10 years after I graduated. I've been out over 20. Right at 20. 10 years after I graduated, they got a football program, and they already FBS. So within 10 years, they don't went from starting a football program. Now you already a Division I school, but you didn't have a football program. You went to starting a football program to going FCS to FBS that quick. In that little window of time, but you got teams that's been like the HBCUs, they know just been stuck in their ways. They ain't moved up. And I think that's what Coach Prime was trying to do with Jackson State. They wanted to kill him. Crucify him. Because he's like, man, y'all can move up. We can make a super conference. Because this is the time to do it. Them schools, Jackson State had a stadium bigger than Colorado Stadium. They got a stadium, and they're like, oh, we need to get a stadium. They got a big enough stadium. They ain't got to do the upgraded stadium thing that the FAMU had to do. They already got a big enough stadium. All they do, he already upgraded facility. They could have easily upgraded out of the SWAC. But they want to be in that SWAC. They love their culture. He said, I bring the whole SWAC with me. Then the SWAC coach, who is SWAC? I ain't SWAC. Then they started fighting. Everybody was fighting him. He was trying to bring him up because he saw this window come. I'm going to tell you, he saw it. You can't lie and say, it's a time now where you could move from FCS to FBS right now. The window is there. And, you do what you got to do. He had the spotlight there. He had the resources there. They could have did it. He wasn't lying. Oh, you talking about God. Yeah, he probably wanted to do it. He realized real quick, he ain't no dummy. They ain't going to let me do this. They were on him harder than anything you seeing in these other Colorado and Pac-12 and Big 12. Look, they were on him bad at SWAC. Y'all quit playing with yourself. They was on him bad. So those was times where you really didn't see schools move. I see schools now that I was up against. They was Division II, and now they don't went up to FCS like that. Ooh, they was Division II for a long time, and then all of a sudden, Division II that I came up in now is really the FCS, and the FCS back then now is FBS. I kid you not. I remember Troy State and all them was like FCS, and then they moved up to FBS. I can name a lot of schools like that they got these little names, but they FBS now. Like Madison, James Madison. They don't moved up to FBS now. Everybody, even you just saw North Dakota been the FCS forever. Now they moving to the Mountain West? They moving up to FBS. They've been kicking butt for a long time. They really been the FBS program. They really been that. They've been competing. They've been beating FBS Group of 5 program, not Group of 5. They've been beating FBS elite programs for a long time. Power 5, now you Power 4, whatever you want to call it. They've been beating them for a long time. And they finally said, all right, we'll move on up. It's a lot of teams in that conference like that. It's the other Dakotas, South Dakota, Montana, all them things. They can move up and go into the MAC and dominate. They could. I don't know why they stayed there, but now you got the playoff model. I guess they say, well, it's time we come on in and, maybe we can make the playoff or something. You seen James Madison do it. You saw James Madison do it. They almost made it one year, then they did it. We seen Liberty do it. And I know Liberty I know they had to be FCS, and then they moved to FBS. So you got these things, the opportunities is different. It just looks different now, man. You pulling these guys up, and they like, I basically was at used to be Division II FCS type program, now FBS, newly FBS programs, and now I'm at Colorado. That's a dream, man. They literally, the quarterback from Tulane came from Division II. They weren't respecting Division II like that to go from that to playing, Georgia or whatever. Ole Miss went and got a Division II quarterback, not FCS, not Division I AA, Division II. They used to be like, that's what you did at level. I know I played with and against some guy. I know for a fact because they went pro a lot of times. See, they take guys pro out of Division II. They still do. I know some first round draft picks out of Division II. people is ignorant, man. This vision thing is tricky, man. I know when you see South Alabama, Valdosta State, those Division II programs, I know for sure Valdosta could have played FCS easy and still been effective. Because they was getting all them boys from University of Florida and Florida State. They transferred their butt right to Valdosta. They beat the mess out of everybody. We was the only team that could go with them. And I know I had pros on my team, and some of them did go pro. And some of them should have went pro. But that was that disrespect of the levels. But I know for a fact there's some guys on my team. Some of them end up playing arena football and stuff like that, high level arena football for a long time. I know they could have played pro if the respect was there. I know for a fact they could have competed at Colorado right now on both sides of the ball. I know for a fact. They talent level is not different. They had the size, the talent, and they wasn't just dominating. Because I've seen some guys at Division II back in the day that those pros, man. And people laugh, man. Denzel Washington's son played Division II football. And they say he could have went anywhere. And he's a little bit of something. He's an actor and he played football moves and stuff. And that boy was bad at running back. You thought he was Denzel's son, but he was trouble at running back. He played at Morehouse back in the day. That's one of the few times Morehouse was really like that. That boy was tough. There's no way you couldn't tell me that boy couldn't have played Division I football. And he was a little bitty dude, but he was a problem. He was a problem. But he only went there because that's the school he wanted to go to. He's Denzel Washington's son. He could have went anywhere, honestly. From an exposure standpoint, he had the talent. But he wanted to go to Morehouse. And he was way above what you consider Morehouse talent. It was a lot of guys like that, especially in Georgia. Because a lot of guys played Division I and they transferred down. That's what we used to live off. Our transfer portal was people coming from Division I program. They went to Troy. They went to Jackson. You know, these are FBS programs now. But it was FCS back then. They was Division I AA back then. And they came down to Division II. That's why I said it all moved up. Division II back then is really FCS now. And FCS back then is really FBS now. And that's what the teams are doing. But some of them stayed in Division II. These HBCUs that's in Division II, they stayed at Division II, not because they weren't good enough, because they just like the other teams that like Jackson State and FAMU who are Division I HBCUs. So you got Division I HBCUs, you got Division II HBCUs. All of them stuck in their traditions. All of them had a chance to move up. Jackson State definitely could have moved up to that. They could have moved up to at least a lower level FBS. At least they already FCS, but they don't even really want to play outside their circle. And a lot of times we get beat because they only want to play against the black schools. They don't. Then that's why Coach Prime went there and they played against Campbell and they beat Campbell, and that was a big deal because they used them at Texas State. They lost. They would lose to the non-black schools because they just didn't want to step outside. Even to the point North Dakota was taunting them like, "Yeah, come on up here. You think you bad?" Coach Prime was at Jackson State when they went and played in Celebration Bowl. And they're like, "Y'all scared to come to the playoff?" He's like, "That don't make no sense to go to no playoff. Y'all gonna have us pay for our own playoff games? It's stupid." He said, "I'm gonna lose money to go play the playoff, and I'm gonna go to Celebration Bowl, and they're gonna pay us." That was he's thinking money. Now you scared. You can't coach because he was whooping everybody in the sweat with their eyes closed. Those are the days, man. Listen, to me, the biggest mismatch is putting a wide receiver and running back and get a linebacker matchup. Yeah, man, that Go-Go gonna do all that. I'm telling you that. Go-Go gonna move people around, put people in the backfield, take them out the backfield, and make people have to really play chess. Because you can just line up and shotgun one guy in the backfield, team spread out, everybody load up the box and say, we're gonna put pressure on your line, who going backwards, and we're gonna just bully y'all. That's a disadvantage. You got the snap count on your side, you got the play call on your side, and you still at a disadvantage. They cross and switching up on your line because they know you passing the ball because they don't respect your run game. Your lineman ain't finna run block because they pass blocking. So it's just they already outsmarted Colorado on go. Well, when you can show them we can do multiple things, line up if you want to. We can hand it off right up under you. While you've been overly aggressive, we can take advantage of your aggression. Matter of fact, we can expose what you're trying to do by putting people in motion and moving them around. And if people don't go with them, we know what y'all in trouble if y'all don't. But we also know who coming, who going, because now you can't even disguise if I'm coming or not. Because you're in man coverage, you got to go with that guy. So it's motion that it's certain things that motion will help with, and they just failed to want to do it. I thought Ponder was a decent QB. I don't understand why he didn't transfer. I think if he would have transferred, it probably been when Shador left. And I think Staub should have left the year before that. But I guess he just loved Colorado. Ponder, I felt like Ponder, when Vic got that job the first year, he should have went with somebody like Vic. One of them boys out there in the MEAC or whatever. He would have been a pretty dominant MEAC SWAC quarterback, just athleticism. I'm not saying that he couldn't play quarterback at Juke University. I am saying that he, at this level, he's a tight end. Man, 6'5". You show me it ain't many 6'5" quarterbacks in the NFL that's prominent. It's like once you get over a certain size quarterback, I've said this before, it begins to work against you. It's like the match you want to be, but how he's built and how he plays, he will benefit Colorado a lot more at tight end, especially he can go take that room really outside of Atkins, and really probably he can go and take that room. He can go take that room. He's a better athlete. Period. He has a better chance of taking that room than he do the quarterback room here. And I'm not saying he still can't contribute at quarterback. I think he absolutely can contribute at quarterback in certain packages. But I think Colorado will benefit him more if Atkins go down. What you got? I know they got some big guys there, but I'm talking about that's athletes. I'm not talking about blocking tight ends. I'm about guys who really who can play. You don't really have that just game breaker tight end. I think he can be that if he go ahead and start getting reps now instead of wasting time. They love to waste time, figure out stuff, and change positions halfway through the season. Let him get the reps now. Black and gold team is going to keep competition, the main thing. Yeah, it's also creates bonding because when you're going against somebody, see, if you're going against people in the season, it creates bonding, but that's a little late, right? But now it creates bonding because you got these little teams, these little facets, and the competition. You connect with people because we're going against somebody. It's a simulated competition, which creates a opportunity to bond, basically. That's the smart part of it. These little groups, small grouping it. You got a big team, like I said. So when you small group it, you force people to bond with somebody. I force you a big team, and I said, oh, I leave it up to you. Oh, we play PlayStation with this guy. I'm a roommate with this guy. It's just too big. But when you break them down to groups, and you position groups usually be that way, but they don't practice long enough, really. And position groups don't allow you necessarily to compete unless they doing like running backs versus linebackers, and it's a different level of competition than when it's like this team versus that team, the miniature teams within the team. It cause respect, and trust, because if I see you did this against me, then I know to some degree I can trust you when the season starts. Ready to see how Marion uses all his talent system. Should average 35 points. Definitely. He should definitely over average 30 points a game. He not finna. He seemed like he's an extremist like Coach Prime. See, the problem is Coach Prime staff has never been extremist. Like he's in the extremes, but he's like, what can you do when you trying to let other people do the job? These guys are extremists, man. They about any means necessary type of dudes. Marion's gonna figure out if he gotta slip and live in that building, he gonna make sure it happen type. He's gonna make sure it happen type of dude. So I see him with all this time he got, and he hang around, he figuring this thing. I can use him for that because it's his system. He know how it works. He know what type of player fits best. That's why I message him personally. Hey, Ponder. You was thinking about it. I just gave you a confirmation. Ponder, right? But that's some pieces that you can really play with, man. You put them in the right spot. And I feel like at times before, people didn't do that. Let's be real. I don't feel like Schumer fully used the weapons he had. I don't feel like Livingston for the used weapons he had, but that's a whole nother conversation. Is it? Hmm. Yeah, JUCO like Cam Newton. Yeah, them JUCOs was where it was at back in the day. And now they're using the portal. JUCO kids kind of get looked over because instead of like, hey, I got this kid from California, he don't play 2 years, he's top in the nation in JUCO. Now you like, yeah, I got this kid from Alabama. He was a 5-star a year ago. And I don't know that it helped, but it's like it feeds your ego. Like, I got the 5-star, I want it. He didn't want us, but now he want us. But the JUCO kid who actually played at that level and got experience, he actually probably the better guy as far as risk. But it's that the star thing that really got you. Like, this guy used to be the biggest guy. Da da da. Da. Yeah, they say Ponder like about 225. Yeah, I mean, he gotta be as thick as he is and his height. I mean, he's not a skinny guy. He maybe was skinny a couple years ago, but he definitely don't put on weight. Probably would have stopped the move through. Just like they're stopping Coach Prime and Fran Brown from having Expedition Spring game. Stop the move. I don't know what movie you're talking about, but I mean, they're not going to open it up for Coach Fran and Coach Prime because other teams gonna start doing it, and then that's gonna be like a whole nother season they got to deal with and watch and make sure it ain't whatever going on. It's easier to keep teams separated during off season. That's less headache for them. Hampton and North Carolina team moved to the Ohio Valley Conference. Yeah, I noticed that. I can't remember when. I know that North Carolina did. I think North Carolina A&T was one to do it first. Hampton had to be fairly recent because I know Hampton not too long ago was part of me at probably some years now, but I know North Carolina A&T did it a while back. Same thing with I don't think it's what conference. I was just looking at the other day where you look at Tennessee State. They've been left a long time ago. I thought it was MEAC. They've been left long. I think they in MAC or somewhere. They somewhere in there. So they've been stopped playing. That's why they love that little conference that they played against Jackson State up there in Memphis. And he was like, "Dang, that money ain't right." And they were mad at him about that. Coach Prime called that out and messed that up. That was the last year they did it when he was there. But the money wasn't right. You either somebody's stealing or something because like you got the number of people coming there. It's a big game, and it ain't profitable for the teams to come there. It's like it ain't, or maybe whoever got it putting all the money in their pocket and not paying the schools. That's possible. Yeah. So I don't know. They saying still Ohio Valley. So I think Tennessee State, they in Ohio Valley too. Possible. I think that's what he's saying. Texas had Ryan Mallett from Arkansas, who never played up to expectations. Yeah, the Southern Heritage Classic. Yeah, I mean, the people who love tradition, they love tradition. They don't care and they don't know have anything to do with the money part of it. They just love tradition. I've been going there for years. They got that in Georgia. They got what's the Magic City Classic with the Fort Valley and Albany, the SCIAC schools, and it's a classic, and it's a neutral site game. They play every year, like the last game, kind of like how Georgia played Georgia Tech, but they, black colleges like to call stuff classics. Southern Heritage Classic, Magic City Classic. They got all these classics. They don't, kind of like what they call when Georgia play Florida. They don't call it a classic, but it's like that same type of thing. Like it's a rival game, and that's how the HBCU do their rival games. So you imagine Coach Prime. That's the only time they would get to play Tennessee State because Tennessee State is not in the SWAC. So that's one of the HBCUs they will never get to play. They only get to play them in that classic. So I can see how people be like, oh, I can see where people coming from, but they better get that money right. The promoter kept the bulk of them. Yeah, they ain't paying the teams because they making plenty of money. So it's like he playing you. They playing you. The promoter bringing you there like it's the music industry. And you put all the money in his pocket and ain't paying the teams like, man, don't make no sense. So that's on the promoter. He get some sponsors. I don't know what it's on the promoter. World's largest cocktail party. Yo, I'm gonna say this. Colorado, when you compare them to last year, let's just start with last year. The team, they look happy together. They look happy to work out. They just look like happy kids, man. They look like the love of the game is the main thing. Versus, the day when you used to be, scholarship and that was it. There wasn't nothing else you was really looking at expecting. You on scholarship, you getting this wonderful college experience, and you here, you glad to be there. Versus, I'm here, I'm getting paid, I want more money, I want this, that. Like bringing the NFL component to it. It makes the energy, it makes people very ungrateful. It creates negativity, it creates jealousy. Because now you're looking at all this other stuff. He got this much in the L. How he get this much in the L? How he get the playing time? I want to go play. Now you ain't really thinking about the game. These guys look like they're thinking about the game. That's just how it feels. They look like they're not jealous of each other. They look like it's just kids who happy. You made it, I made it. We happy together. It's one of those things. Yeah, Allen said the Georgia-Florida game. Yeah, it's a difference, man. It's a difference when people want to be somewhere when they're happy. It's a difference when people enjoy something, and you're not going to beg them to come to practice, have a good attitude, and be focused, and watch film because that comes with something you enjoy. See, in life, you want to do something you enjoy. Now, like I'm getting to inspiration, motivation mode. Let that slide. It's about doing something you enjoy doing. Because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not gonna really put the extra into it. You're gonna do just enough. So maybe we'll get into that later. Remind myself. These guys actually enjoy what they're doing. And it shows. But I don't think it just shows in the players. I think it shows in the coaches. The coaches are happy to be where they are. You got the guys like Coach Marin getting the opportunity. Yeah, he's been not at this level though. See, he's a level up. Not on this platform. Not with this opportunity. Not with this particular group of people in person. Then Niblett come over there. Oh, Niblett was just Niblett, again, just like these colleges, these colleges jumped, these coaches jumped. Coach Prime went from high school to Division I. Yeah, FCS, but he skipped over JUCO, Division II, Division I. And then they were really mad at him because he went from that, the FCS, to a FBS coach. That's why people really mad. And all they can say can be legit, but that's why they really mad. In a few years, he didn't have to go coach up on nobody. He didn't have to go and do a certain amount of years like every other coach. Like they love Cincinnati because, he been doing this for a long time. He a real coach. Yeah, that's true. You do something for a long time, that's true. But you just mad because Coach Prime, he took a super duper shortcut. And you just, that's because of who he is. Yeah. Yeah. Why wouldn't that school take advantage of who he was? He was the hottest thing going on. So hot, he almost made the HBCU blow up, but they weren't silly. And then he come over here and he bringing all that hype, all these eyeballs to your university. And yeah, it's a business. It's a business. They can't pay that something they don't have. And now people coming back to your games, people coming back to your town, the whole town, the restaurants, everybody. It ain't a ghost town no more. It ain't like dinner. It's like, oh, this thing jump. It's like they on Bourbon Street out there every week. It was a home game. These people know the difference. They've been there for years. They've already closed down. They opened up multiple locations because the amount of people coming all the way up through there, even Denver benefiting from people flying in, staying in hotels all the way out there. It don't a whole 20, 30 minute path up, probably 40 minutes up. That whole strip has been impacted from the number of hotels that's needed, the number of restaurants, not just in Boulder, because everybody can't stay in Boulder. It ain't big enough. So, I stayed 20, 30 minutes down. Some people stay all the way down to the Denver, almost 30, 40 minutes down. Everybody benefit. The airport, everybody benefit because people come in town. You know, that's what you got. So, Colorado would have been a fool not to accept Coach Prime. They got a Heisman player out of him. They got NFL draft picks out of him. He brought all that. He brought all that. So you can't look at his lack of experience because the benefits showed and fit somebody with lack of experience. A lot of benefits. That's what he brought. You can't hate. And so now you look at Coach Niblett. He go from I did high school all these years and I jumped over all that. I jumped over Division 3. I jumped over Division 2. I jumped over Division 1, FCS, and lower level FBS. I jumped all the way up to the Power 4. Like that. Boom. Everybody jumping. That wouldn't happen for that man. He a great coach and all that, but he would have to prove himself at this level for years. Marion even said that for years. The opportunity for them, especially they perform. People gonna try to pull them, even just be spiting Coach Prime. He don't jump them to the front of the line. Everybody jumping the line. He jumped the line. He having other people jump the line. He giving people opportunity they would not have, and they happy to be there, man. These players jumping the line from lower level programs. These coaches jumping the line. They not dumb. They know what opportunities in front of them, and you can see it. You can see it and how they move. It's a different type of people they don't recruit it, man. They wanted to do it, and maybe they knew they were gonna do it, but they hit it. It's a difference with somebody. It's like giving somebody something on the street who ain't never had that. You see the genuine in them. They are happy beyond measure versus somebody who had it before and like, yeah, this I could have got this in green. So you can see that, man. You can't play with that. Can't act like that's not something you can identify. You can see it. I want to see how the receiver room acts when they hear who's first team, second. There was a transfer for the third will bounce. I mean, I don't think that's how this team is thinking. I think that's natural, like from competition, but I think they really thinking like a team. And that's gonna show, and that's gonna be the most, because the reality is people get hurt. It's a long season. And they'll rather have them, especially Colorado. Like last year, I really thought they had a lot of D line. And then for the second year in a row, really, because Block Bully that year, and we had Block Bully, he went out a little bit. They kind of hurt them towards the end of that season, even all the way up to when they went to the bowl game against BYU. They had lost all their D linemen from the second half of that season, from that Kansas State game going forward. Last 2 years, we supposed to have all these qualified D linemen was hurt. Some of them had surgery. Some of them played 1 or 2 games and never come back. So they got all this depth at tackle. Oh, you got all this tackle. Good. You're going to need them. According to history, it's like Cleveland. Oh, they play 3, 4 quarterbacks a year. Good. You're going to need them. So you're going to need all them defensive linemen, the way it's been looking. You're going to need all them linebackers, the way it's been looking. And you're going to need all them receivers, because it's not been a year where the receivers ain't got hurt. Now, one time, Kansas State game, 3, 4 starting guys went out. Amarion came in doing well. He got taken out the rest of the season. Travis Hunter got hurt, hit in the shoulder, ribs, whatever. He was out. Even Timmons got hurt. Everybody hurt. Jimmy went and pulled something. I hurt his knee. These are key players, man, all at once. And all of a sudden, you went from thinking you had a lot to you ain't really got that for a minute, because them guys got to recover. So they're going to need at least 8 receivers, man, just over this trajectory of the season. Yeah, not all at one time, but rotation-wise and injury-wise, you're going to need at least, I'd say 8 strong. If you got 10, even better. Because somebody going to pull a hamstring inside the game or be out for a game too. Somebody going to tweak an ankle. Somebody going to get hit in the head, get hit in the shoulder, whatever, hit in the back. It's going to happen. Whether they out for a quarter or for a game or 2 or 3. And you need the same quality guy to come in. You can't be looking over, I can't wait to get back. You need the same quality guy to come in. And I believe they have that. So that's another thing that's different about them. Because Prime thought they had depth last year. They really got it now. They getting some hired up on the DB end as well. Because freak wise, like we saw both our running backs go out, one with a left boot, one with a right boot. Hayden was just coming back off a hand injury, and they were on to slow roll him into it. So you went from, we got all these running backs, to all of a sudden you really only got one, and the one got to be forced to play. And you losing your diversity too, because your speed guys, your big play guys, all of them got hurt. Now your bigger size guys was left. And Hayden, they say he could have been a bigger play, but whatever. He was a bigger back. So yeah, you're gonna need all them running backs, all them receivers. You're gonna need all of them. So I hope they got the right attitude and know that. Just pay attention to history. I hope they can see clear as day that they're gonna need all those guys, man. This shouldn't even be a question at this point. All them offensive linemen, you easily can get 2-3 linemen hurt at one time, be hurt around the same time. And now you're looking around like, oh, we don't lost 2 tackles. We worry about who's gonna be the number 1 tackle. Now the 3rd tackle coming in. Now we got to move somebody from guard to play tackle. We don't see it. Now you got to move people out their position. You worry about depth. So that 3rd, 4th quarter, whatever, might be a savior, because people will leave on that extra quarter. But that might be the person you're gonna end up needing in October. If they, the other 2 guys you got them behind get hurt. You don't know. And now that guy had a left. Now you got guards playing, centers playing, but you got people, they play multiple positions, but this is their position. Now you got him playing the center. Yeah, he able to play tackle. Now he out there playing left tackle. You looking crazy. Because you don't let, if I ain't in the first 2, I'm gone. Now you screwed because the 2 get hurt. Now you pulling guys from the other side over here. He played this in the 8th grade in JV. Like, come on, man. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through on this wonderful thing, y'all, and this members only, or not members only, this subscribers only chat. If y'all want to chat, make sure y'all subscribe. We can probably do that going forward. At least if I do it through this platform, I can do that. I just did it through YouTube. I haven't seen that feature in the other ones, but still on this YouTube. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. It's a nice sunny day. It's been raining yesterday. It's sunny here in good old Atlanta. It went hot, the cold. It's all good. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Talk to y'all soon.